Hi fellow Keyforgers, Helly Halloween here. I wanted to make a video about how to play Keyforge on Tabletop Simulator. So I know there are already a few videos out there, but it seems that still there are a lot of people asking me questions on Twitter and also Instagram that haven't seen these kinds of videos yet. So I wanted to do a video myself. So first of all, if you want to play Keyforge online, right, there used to be an option called the Crucible Online, and you can still play that, but you can only play the old set Call of the Archons. The Age of Ascension deck up till this point doesn't work on that site. So what you can do is you can play any deck, Call of the Archons or Age of Ascension, on Tabletop Simulator. So that's a good option. So if you want to do that, first of all, you need a Steam account, right? And on Steam, you can look for Tabletop Simulator. Right now, you can buy it. It costs about 20 euros here. And it's really worth it. I mean, you can play a lot of different games on this simulator. For example, here you see Zombicide's site. You name it, you can play it probably on Tabletop Simulator. A lot of people use it, so it's really nice. I used to play Star Wars Destiny on it, so but you should have a look out here because oftentimes it's 50% off. I bought it at 50% off. It's only 10 euros. It's really great value, so you definitely gotta check this out. Now if you want to play Keyforge, well, yeah, you can go to the library, and when you bought it, you have Tabletop Simulator here in your account. You can click play and you can start playing Keyforge. But before you can do that, you first need to install the Keyforge module, right? And this is sometimes a problem for several people. So how you do that is, well, if you are here in your library for Tabletop Simulator, then you go to here, to the Community Hub, right? You click on it, brings you to this Community Hub page. And here you have to go to all the way here to Workshop, right? You click on it. And now you can search Tabletop Simulator, right? So I actually heard that a lot of people, they're looking for Keyforge in the general Steam search engine, and of course that won't work. You have to look in the Workshop for Tabletop Simulator. So here you can, for example, type Keyforge Ultimate HD, right? You look for that, and then you see that you have a couple of options. But the one you really want is this one, Keyforge Ultimate HD All Languages Scripted. So you can find it just clicking Keyforge Ultimate HD, or maybe you can also add scripted, right? So this is the one you want. You click it, and then you see that you can subscribe, right? I'm already subscribed, but if you subscribe here, it will be loaded in your Tabletop Simulator and you can play Keyforge, right? So that's the way how you do that. Okay, now let's have a look at the actual game. So we're going back to the library, and then you click play. I already did that. And then you get Tabletop Simulator. This is how it looks. So what you can do if you want to play a game, you can click join, right? The first thing you will see is that there are a buttload of different servers and different games going on, right? So you see there are a lot of different games. Here, Dungeons and Dragons, Mansions of Madness, you name it, you can find it, right? So what you want is, of course, Keyforge. So you type Keyforge here, and then you will see the current Keyforge Ultimate games that are going on. It is my feeling right now that there aren't that many games going on Tabletop Simulator, but it's really in comparison to the Crucible Online, but it is really useful, and at least you can play your Age of Ascension decks, right? So okay, that's what you can do. Now I'm not gonna do that right now. We're going to go to the other tab, right? The Create tab. And here you can create your own multiplayer game, right? You can set your name, server password, and you can play with a friend, right? That's a very nice way to do this. Now, right now, I'm just gonna open a single player just to show you around what are the different controls and how it works. It takes a little bit of time to load, but we'll get there. Okay, so now we're here, and here you see that we have a number of games, for example, the classic games. But what you want is here in the workshop, right? And there used to be another one called Super Keyforge, but I think that only allows you to play the starter decks in the Call of the Archon starter set. For example, here I also have Star Wars Destiny. What you want is Keyforge Ultimate, right? So you load that. Alright, so it takes some time to load, but now you see that we're completely in. Okay, loading complete. And here you see, right, the regular playmats with your Archon, Draw, Drag, Discard, Archive. You've got a chain tracker, your keys, and so on. So first thing you need to know is that in Tabletop Simulator, you can move around using the WASD, right? So that's how you can move around. And your camera, you can change that with your regular key buttons, right? So up, down, left, right, or you can use your right mouse button, right, to actually look around. And you see that they actually did a nice job of including some of the nice pictures for Keyforge around this table. You can use the scroll button to zoom in and zoom out, right? So now you see that actually we're really sitting at a table, right? You can quickly zoom in using the Z button or zoom out by clicking it again. Okay, so the playmat. What's important here? For example, you can zoom in a bit, and here you see we've got our key tokens, right? So an important thing in Tabletop Simulator is if you want to pick something up, you have to use the left mouse button and you click and you hold, right? You hold for a little bit, right? So you hold it and then you can move it around. You can, for example, use F to flip it, right? So that's how you can actually flip your tokens. You don't have to pick them up, just hover over them and flip them. Flipping, you use the key F, right? So if you don't know which one you have to use, you can just right click on the object and then you see, for example, for flip, here you see your hotkey, right? Okay, then we also have here our chain tracker. So it's just like in real life. We've got our chain tracker here. You got your you can put your chain tracker on there. You can say, for example, I got 3 chains. You can move it and that's it, right? Here's your bag with your damage tokens. You can just left click and drag one out, right? Then you have your damage token. It's default to 1, but if you want to increase it, you just hover over it till you see this red button, right? And then you can left click to increase it to higher damage or right click to lower it to lower damage. If you don't want it anymore, you hover over it and you press delete. Okay, on this side, you also have your bag of amber, right? The general pool. So you can just pull them out, left click, pull them out. If you want to move more at the same time, you can do it like in Windows, right? You can select it like this and you move everything at once, for example, over here on your Archon. Okay, down here we also have our stun tokens, right? So here you have a stun card, but they replace it with these blocks, so you can use that as stuns. You can use these as power counters, right? So these are dice. You can it's the same principle, long left click and you can pick them up. You can move with them and change the value. You can also press R to actually change it a bit and drop it. And if you want to set it, of course, that's quite important. You can right click and choose your rotation value. So you can set to, for example, 2 power and put it on your creature, right? So let's remove those. Okay, let me have a look here. Okay, yeah, we also have this info card here. So basically what it says is just, it's an overview of all the different keywords, right? So you always have it close with you. Once you have your deck, you can also choose your different houses, right? So I could choose, for example, shadows, right? And then everyone sees that I have shadows as a house. Now let's go to the really interesting part, and that is, of course, your deck. So how do you import your deck into Tabletop Simulator? Well, you do that using this handy screen here. So you can zoom in, and now you can see that if you want to choose your deck, what you can do is just enter the deck URL here, right? So you go to the website and you choose the deck you want, and you just put that URL here and you build the deck. That's it. Now for now, I'm just going to select a random deck, but before I do that, I want to show you that here you can also select your card back, right? So you have different colors, and very importantly for people who prefer a deck in their own language, here you can choose, right? So you got all the different options: Spanish, German, French, and so on. So for now, we're just going to keep English, and we're going to generate a random deck, right? Takes some time to load, of course. So we've got our deck, and then we go back here, and you see that here's our deck, right? So it will spawn here. And it works in the same way. If you want to pick it up, you have to left click it for some time, and this is actually your hand area, right? I can put it over here, and now if you want to pick, like I said, if you want to pick up your deck, you have a long left click and you can move it around. If you want to shuffle it, you can just move it a bit, right? And now you see that it's shuffling, or you can press the R button, right? Or of course, right click, press shuffle, and you see that the hotkey is R. There are also other options, but these are less relevant. I think you can cut, split, and so on. Okay, now if you want to draw cards, the first thing you need to know is you can just do a quick left click, right, and just pick one up. So you see now I just pulled one card out of it, and I can put it back. You see that it highlights, and I put it back on. So I can take it. If I want to see the card, I can press F for flip, and I see it. Right, in this case it's Smite. Now you don't want to zoom in on it all the time, so what you can do is you can just use Alt to actually have a zoomed in version of the card, right? Okay, so let's pick this one up, let's flip it, put it back in, and so in reality what we would do is we would shuffle this deck a little bit using R, and we put it here on our draw deck. Now if you want to draw decks, you can do that using right click and then deal some cards, but of course draw cards here, right? But the fastest way to do it is just hover over it, and then you press the number of cards that you want. You can't use the number pad, you have to use the numbers on the top of your keyboard, right? So for example, I'm second player, so I pull 6 cards, I press 6, and it will automatically pull 6 cards. Now what you will see is it will always show your cards here, and again you can use Alt to zoom in, but it will also show it here, because this is actually your hand area, right? You saw it before, you see this this area here is your hand area. So it's useful to have both. If you're looking over here, right, you still want to have your cards here, but you can hide these using the H hotkey, right? And that way you can toggle them to show them or not. Okay, if you want to play a card, it's really easy, so your opponent can't see this. If you want to play a card, for example, I want to play Charette here, I just click it and I put it on. Here we go. An important thing to know is that, of course, if you play a card, it comes in exhausted, and you want to easily put it exhausted. And how you can do that is by using the hotkeys Q and E. So Q and E, they will rotate the card. In this case, they will rotate 90 degrees because I set it so. Up here, right, on the right side, you see the rotation degrees. So standard, it will be 15 degrees. And as you can see, that's not so useful to do it that way. So just click on it till it's 90 degrees, and it's much easier, right, to easily set exhausted or not. Okay, so if the card's destroyed, it's very easy. You just pick it up and you put it in your discard pile, right? It will automatically flip it in the right way. If you archive a card, you can put it here, but you have to manually flip it with the F key, and then you put it in your archive. So that's about it. Like I said, you can also multi-select cards, right? So if I have these two and you want to move them over because some creature got destroyed here, right, and you have to move over your bed line, just select them and you can move them over, right? That's a little bit easier. Okay, one final thing. So if you want to point out something to your opponent, you can use the tab function, right? With tab you can show an arrow on the board, so you draw the attention to it. All right, so that's about it. I think now you know everything you need to know to play the game. Now, don't be shy and just ask your opponent for help, right? There are a lot of very friendly people here on Tabletop Simulator. Just ask them and they will help you out, okay? So, and then if you're done, what you can do is this very handy flip key here, and you can just say, okay, here we go, and we're done. And everything falls into the abyss. Okay, I hope this was very useful for everyone. So I have one final announcement to make, my fellow Keyforgers. So what I would like to do is, I would like to get to 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm currently at 47, I believe. And in order to achieve that, what I would like to do is my very first giveaway. So I have an unopened Age of Ascension Keyforge deck here. And I would like to make one person really happy with that. So how you can win this deck is by subscribing to my YouTube channel, first of all, and then liking and commenting on this video, right? If you do that, well, you have time till the end of July, right? So on the 31st of July, I will end the giveaway round, and the 1st of August, I will announce the winner of the giveaway, and he will receive an unopened Age of Ascension deck from me, right? So to wrap that up, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment on the video, and that way you enter the giveaway. I hope this was interesting for all of you guys. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time. See ya.